The Boys. Did you audition?
Yeah.
How many times?
Once.
One time.
Actually, no, wait, twice. So the first audition was for The Deep. And like my buddy Anthony, in Vancouver, he was like, yo, you gotta ask your manager to go out for this. Like, I think you'd love it. Right. And so I did. And I thought to myself,
You owe him.
I do.
If he didn't say that, you would have never even thought about it.
It's not that, it's I wouldn't have been as prepared for the next audition.
Gotcha.
And so I did it, and I'm like, oh, this would be cool if this worked out. But I'm like, it's probably not gonna happen. So I did it, didn't hear anything. And I had that whole year, I just wanted to go down to LA for the first time and like try it out.
You hadn't been?
No, I hadn't.
Just in Toronto?
At that point, I was in
Vancouver, which is pretty hip for the industry, but it's still not LA.
It's not. Like, you can go so far.
You can go so far.
Go so far.
Yeah, you're not going to get a lead role.
No. And so I had wanted so badly that
you could. I don't want to make it sound
you're right. There's
you
no
can't.
chance.
But I'm just saying that most of them are like movies that are coming up there to film, and they're looking for other characters.
Most lead roles are cast out of LA.
Right.
You need LA rep. And
gotcha.
And there is, like, you can be a Canadian and get a lead role. It's just much rarer, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And so, that entire year, I just wanted to like book enough so I could come down and go to LA and just be there for a few months and just try it out, right? So I didn't get that. I came so close on a TV movie that would have given me enough to go down, and the director and the producers were like, you're a top choice. We want you. You're going to hear from us in a couple of days. I just didn't hear.
Oh, I hate when they do that.
And I was.
How about call you anyway and just say sorry?
Yeah, it was.
You say you're going to hear from us, at least call and say, hey.
Yeah, for me, I knew they were interested. It was more the network. And so because you get so close, that's
so many cooks.
That's what's tough about it.
So many cooks in the kitchen.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was so down on myself. I was just like, damn, like I really want to do this. And I didn't accomplish my goal. And then I went on vacation with my family, and I was talking with my dad, and he was like, yeah, so how are you feeling about this year? I'm like, I feel like I failed at what I was trying to do or what I wanted to do. And he's like, no, you did all this good stuff. Like, don't worry about it. And I'm like, yes, I get that. But right now, I'm in the place where I'm feeling this. And I have to let myself feel this emotion and like feel where I'm at. And I did. And as I was kind of giving myself the space to feel that, this audition for Black Noir came in. And I was like, oh, I already kind of did this, because it was a deep scene and an A-Train scene. So I did one of the scenes already. Mm-hmm. And so I just gave myself time over the vacation to feel what I was feeling, to like kind of let that pass through me. And then when I came back, I taped it. And
so it was on tape.
Yeah.
You didn't even audition in front of producers. Nobody does anymore.
No. Yeah, it was on tape, And I was like waiting to hear, it's like you audition and some you really want, you're just like on pins and needles.
Oh, yeah.
And
oh yeah, bro.
Yeah. It's
yeah.
And I think it was about a week. It was January 2nd or 3rd. Between I think around the 3rd that I heard back.
Your agent called you.
I guess so. Yeah.
Were you just floored?
I was many things. I was over the moon, and I was also like, what's happening? What's going on? Like, what am I doing? Like this is an amazing role, but like, what do they want me to do? And my biggest fear, because Black Noir, a silent character, you don't see his face,
which is harder for an actor.
Yeah,
you have to have presence and be listening and thinking and looking and not saying anything. It's what my acting coach or one of my mentors in college, there's a scene where I don't say a word. I go, I sit in a chair. I go, do I have to be in the scene? He goes, it's a play. And you're part of the, yeah. I'm like, well, I have nothing to say. He's like, no, you have everything to say. You just choose not to say it. Mm-hmm. And, that's kind of a little cliche and saying, like, in the industry, but it's true. And that's a tough thing. So was that tough for you? And you probably wanted lines, right?
Oh yeah, who doesn't? But I think for me, it was the biggest question is what do they want from me? Because I was scared they just wanted me to just stand there and do nothing. Like that was my biggest fear. I think there's a line in season 4 where Noir's like, "You didn't hire me to stand around like a fucking oak tree." And that was my fear. Like I was scared of because
And that's kind of ironic.
Yeah.
That's like because that's your fear. Yeah, what your fear
Yeah.
was for the role. And
Yeah.
now he says that.
Yeah.
Because he talks more. He started to talk more, right?
Yeah, he does. But
Yeah.
but for me, as long as I could express myself with my body, I was okay. As long as I could tell a story, it did okay, no lines, that's fine. But like, let me tell a story through my body, and they did that, and so it's been phenomenal. But to circle back before we go on, I think if I hadn't let myself be in that down place, not of like wallowing, but just like being with what I was feeling in that moment, I wouldn't have been as present as I needed to
You
be.
wouldn't have been as ready.
Yeah,
You wouldn't be ready.
as ready and as open and as there to give the audition that I needed to give to get that.